Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you back to another anime topic on my YouTube channel. This will be the next in a series of videos talking about certain anime series and talking about if they need to be either a redubbed, have a new season, have a remake, etc., 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 anything in those type of scenarios. For those of you who have actually kept up with my channel, I did one of these previously about 2 months ago with Tokyo Mew Mew and talked about why I felt the show needed to have a redub because the fact that the English version of said dub, Mew Mew Power, never fully finished the show because of actions 4Kids did with the anime when they dubbed it. And I went into that discussion about how and why I felt someone like Funimation or Viz should have came in, picked up the show, and gave a legit full-on, closer to the original show, full-on, from beginning to end, dub, English dub of that show. Okay, so here's the next one I'm going to be doing this series on, and it's another well-loved, beloved series, and that is Spice and Wolf. Now, as of now, we are in 2015, and we have officially 2 seasons of the anime. The last one that come out in, I believe, 2009, and we haven't had, and this is about now like 6 years later, and we still have not had any new season of this series. Now, I'm not going to go into any spoilers on this show. I have seen both the first and second seasons. Obviously, I should have if I'm doing a topic like this. But we are going to. I'm going to basically go over why I feel this show needs another season, and a lot of people would agree with me on this. First and foremost, this show is really freaking popular. I going around online. One of the most popular animes I have ever really come across is Spice and Wolf. And on top of the fact that it's so popular, there is a lot of fan demand for this show to actually get another season, to get some other continuation of the show. And we have not had that for years, and with the length of time we have now, it's almost near impossible. A lot of fans are just throwing it to the wayside, but we've a lot of anime series that come back from stuff like this in even longer periods of time. Like, take Inuyasha, for example. Like, that show never had a full-on conclusion for years, and then they came out with the final act a couple years ago. 2010, maybe. I'm trying to remember. I think it was 2010. I'm not fully sure. And that anime was done since, like, the early, mid-ish 2000s, so they went for a gap on that show, and they finally finished it. And, like, Spice and Wolf is another popular anime that I feel, really, truly would deserve it. Like, there's a lot of fan demand. There's a lot of, popularity for this anime. It's one of the most popular animes I've seen looking around online. There's a lot of people that actually like it. And every time you search for some Spice and Wolf, normally people, talk about there should be another season. There needs to be a season 3 or a season, even going beyond season 3, something that continues the story, because I'm not going to try to spoil it for you, but the end of season 2 doesn't really accomplish much of anything. Lawrence and Holo get back together after the events that happen through majority of the season, and they go off on their adventure and never accomplish a lick of what they planned on doing at the beginning of the show. The whole premise of the show was for Lawrence to take Holo back to her homeland, back to where she came from. They accomplished none of that in the end of season 2. But as far as I know, the manga is still ongoing and has been since it started in 2007. So maybe when it gets to a certain point in the manga, maybe the anime could come back because of fan demand, especially if people keep up with it. But, like, in my mind, I watched Spice and Wolf for the first time both seasons last year, 2014, and I love the series. It has really, nice, well-developed characters. Lawrence, Holo, all the people they come across that are either, like, a villain, like an antagonist to them, or, friends and assistants and helpers and, people that, help them out with their, their different adventures that they have throughout the first two seasons, and the the challenges and, you know, mountains they have to climb, like the stuff they have to go through in the first two seasons. It has a lot of interesting characters and a lot of an interesting story, especially with the fact that it's basically based off a lot of, very political, market-based stuff, like what the currency is based, and like the life of a person in the market, like Lawrence's job, like what he does selling, like trade and whatnot. Like you would think the concept of the show is pretty dull, but they actually kind of make it interesting, and they make interesting, storyline out of it with well developed and loved characters, especially Lawrence and Holo, who obviously are the main characters, so they should have the most screen time. And the relationship you see from episode 1 in season 1 to the end of the last episode in season 2, you see a relationship, you see a friendship, you see a connection develop between those two characters. And for those who watch the anime, it practically leads to nowhere because you don't see where that happens. And you do not see a clear conclusion for their end goal. Those who read the manga will get that one day, and they probably still are getting that by reading the manga whenever it comes out. But the anime people don't get that, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, read the manga, continue the manga, finish the manga, look into the manga. I don't disregard mangas. I do not, put them to the wayside, put them to the side, and don't really consider them. But here's my thought process on that. If you originally watched it in anime, you should want to and be able to and have ability to, if you want, to finish it in anime and not have to go to a manga, not have to go to a video game, not have to go to something else. I'm not saying that where they ended in season 2 wouldn't be a legit conclusion for the anime itself, because typically, as far as I keep hearing from a lot of people, anime usually is advertisement to get you into reading the manga, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but for people who do not want to go to the manga, because sometimes they have to start over, hint hint, wink wink, nudge nudge. This anime in particular, when those animes change things, and as far as I heard, there are a few things in the manga that did not happen in the anime and vice versa. So if you go and I'm going to finish the anime, then I'm going to read where it leaves off in the manga, you're going to be left in a loop because events that happen in the anime didn't happen in the manga, and you're kind of thrown off. And anyways, if you start it in one medium, and this is my thought process, I don't know if anyone agrees with me or not, I would want to finish it in that medium. If I started in anime, I'd want to finish it in anime. If I started in a manga, I'd read it in the manga. If I want to watch both, I watch and read both separately. I'm getting a little worked up here and whatnot, but I love this show a lot, and I'd advocate for another season because I truly would want to see a legit conclusion without me having to go out and find the manga, in which I would have to start completely over from square one in the first volume, which I have no problem with, but I started in the anime, and I'd like to see it in the anime because of the animation and the art style and the voice acting that these characters are in. Now, I watched it in English, and I believe Funimation dubbed the series. I could be wrong, but I think it was Funimation. Yeah, Funimation, dubbed it. Kalakawa Pictures USA. Just had to look it up to make sure. The voices match the characters, and it actually got me enthralled because of how good the voice actors were. Now, I did watch an episode or two a while back, maybe earlier back, because I did originally watch Spice and Wolf, at least the first few episodes years ago, but I never fully got into it. And I did watch maybe the first 2 episodes back then in Japanese, and the Japanese voice actors are really good too. But it's the voice actors, English or Japanese, that bring you into the characters. It's not you just reading on a page, but watching and getting involved with characters moving on a screen. When it comes to Spice and Wolf, in my opinion, I'm going to finish this off now before I go off for hours trying to talk about this thing. I like the show. A lot of people like the show. If it wasn't like that, it wouldn't be one of the most popular animes I basically see talked about online and demanded for another season. I would like to see a clear conclusion in the anime. Because of the anime being so popular, I would love to actually see that. And I would like to see, like, it doesn't have to be a full season, it doesn't have to be anything. It could even be a movie, but just something that it concludes the whole concept of why the entire anime is happening in the first place, and that's the adventure they're going on, where Lawrence is taking Holo back to her home place. And the events that happen from when they start to when they get there. If they ask to take a few more years for the manga to get to a clear conclusion so we can see it, so be it. If they have to deviate from the path like the original Fullmetal Alchemist did, where they did a totally different ending compared to the manga before they did Brotherhood, they can do something. But I'd like to see some sort of conclusion. And I think a lot of people would too. And I think there's enough people out there that would advocate and push and want something like this. My name is Sniper is Fun. Hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe if you want to. Put in the comment section what you guys think. Do you want to see another season of Spice and Wolf? Do you want to see a continuation? A movie? Maybe they should start over, maybe make it closer to the manga, maybe pull a Brotherhood, or maybe a Sailor Moon Crystal, and maybe start another series over. Maybe it shouldn't be another season. Maybe they should start completely over from scratch and get a bit more close to the manga. I don't know, but I'd like to see some more Spice and Wolf, and I would hope you guys would too. See you guys later. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to, and have a nice day. See ya.